March Madness is here and the ASUN Tournament is in full effect. We'll recap the highlights and share a tribute to this year's seniors.
Plus, we take you to the track for another dominant performance from Liberty Track and Field, and we'll check in on the latest from Flames baseball. It's Flames Central, and it starts now.
The madness is upon us. So much basketball to talk about on this week's show, including some good news for the future of the Liberty program. As always, thanks so much for tuning in. She's Emily Austin. I'm Matt Warner.
Matt, before we get into the games themselves, we have to take a moment to recognize the greatness of Liberty senior Darius McGee, as this past week he was named the ASUN Player of the Year for the third straight season.
Yeah, the greatest player in Flames history, might be the greatest player in ASUN history as well. McGee becoming just the 33rd player in the history of Division I college basketball to earn Conference Player of the Year honors 3 times. And in the least surprising news of the week, he will play a major factor in Liberty's opening game of the ASUN Championship. The Flames hosting Bellarmine in the ASUN quarterfinals. And while I'm sure McGee was at the top of the night scouting report, I'm also sure there's nothing they could do to stop the first half onslaught from the ASUN's best player. McGee was unconscious. The guard scored 26 points in the first half, including 8 of 10 from three-point range. He would finish with 29 points on the night, tying his own program record with 9 threes. No surprise, that would help the Flames build a sizable lead in this one. Freshman Colin Porter would take on some of the scoring load in the second half, finishing with 11 points as the Flames cruised to a quarterfinal win, 76-56. It was the 3rd time this season they've defeated Bellarmine. So that meant that Liberty moved on to the ASUN semifinals to face one of the 3 teams that beat them in conference play this year, Eastern Kentucky. The Flames would fall behind by as many as 13 in the first half, but never panicked. Darius McGee would get hot in the second half, pouring in 21 of his team-high 29 points after halftime. Meanwhile, freshman guard Colin Porter had his best night on the biggest stage. Porter set a career high with 25 points, add in a couple of clutch Kyle Rowe three-pointers, and Liberty found a way to hold off EKU down the stretch. The Flames win at 79-73. LU now advances to the ASUN Championship Final, looking for their 4th title in 5 years.
Win or lose, this is always an exciting time of year with all the madness that March brings. But it's also a time to reflect because, unfortunately, you can't play college basketball forever, even though if anyone tried, it was Darius McGee. No, really. When you look at this senior class of Blake Preston, Darius McGee, Shiloh Robinson, Kyle Rode, and Steven Berggraf, there are countless moments on the court that we will always remember. But it's who they are off the court that we will never forget.
I'll struggle to find the words for the impact that this group has not only had on our program, but on me personally and on our campus and those that they've touched. I mean, the leadership gift on their lives and the selfless sacrifice that they exhibited on a daily basis is inspiring. I think what they've done has been exemplary. And I think they've done it because of the way they've been raised, the parents that they've had, and also their daily pursuit of a relationship with Jesus and what that's meant to them. And I think because of their transparent, intentional, authentic pursuit of that, I think it's created something in our room that most college programs don't get to experience. And man, we're honored by that. Boy, what I hope they take with them is an admiration that they had a chance to be a part of something that is bigger than themselves. What it means to be a part of the body, and the body of Christ, the body of Liberty, and the vision of our basketball program, because they certainly have labored hard to share in the responsibility and ownership of trying to make others' lives better by the way we serve and the way we honored the gifting that God had given to us. So they will long be remembered in Liberty basketball's history. Thank you. Just thank you for the men you are and the men you're becoming, and the way you've blessed my life, my family's life, our program's life, Liberty University. Words won't do justice to the impact that you've made. Hard to even imagine the locker room without you guys, but thankful, grateful.
Boy, I mean,
Grab me
she's getting emotional over here. It's incredible. You think of all the success that these guys have experienced during their time at Liberty, and yet the humility that they've shown through it all. It would be easy with all the winning that they've accomplished to just kind of get a big head about it, but they've really bought into that Liberty culture and are so humble. It's really a testament to them, a testament to Richie McKay as well.
Think about, like, from our perspective, we get to know these guys so much during their collegiate careers, how much they've grown since they came into this program. It's just really cool.
Well, Darius hasn't. He's still a little, but you know what I mean. Hey. Well, the success, the culture, all of it, it stems from who? How about head coach Richie McKay? And maybe the best news of the week was that he doesn't want to go anywhere. McKay and Liberty agreeing to a contract extension through the 29-30 season. During his tenure at LU, McKay has turned Liberty into one of the top mid-major programs in the country, taking the Flames to multiple NCAA tournaments while leading LU to 7 straight 20-win seasons. Now, he'll lead them into a new era in Conference USA beginning next season. Well, while the men were fighting for their postseason lives, the Liberty women were finishing up the regular season on Wednesday night at Bellarmine, while also trying to extend their win streak to an incredible 14 games. In terms of seeding, nothing was on the line in this one. The Lady Flames would be the 2 seed in the ASUN Championship either way. But the way this one went down made it seem like it was a must-win. Tight throughout, Liberty led by 3 in the closing seconds of regulation when Haley Harrison hit a game-tying 3 to send this one to overtime. In OT, the Lady Flames would do just enough to hold off the Knights. Maya Berkman led the way with 13 points as Liberty wins its 14th straight and now turns its sights to the postseason.
Incredible run for them. You know, life is full of change. That's what you hear all the time, but it doesn't necessarily apply to everything, especially when you're talking about Liberty men's and women's track and field. Okay, yeah, these programs change personnel through the years, but what doesn't seem to change are the names on the conference championship trophies. The Flames won their 26th straight indoor conference crown on Saturday. That's just amazing. And yes, that is the longest active streak by any conference in Division I. The men's side was a little nervous about the streak with some injuries early, but they beat Kennesaw State by 57 points. 7 total Flames were named ASUN champions. Kennedy Salter won the high jump. Sauter and shot put star Warren Barrett will both head to Albuquerque for nationals next weekend. For the ladies, it was a much closer race, no pun intended, Matt, winning the team title by just 16 points over Kennesaw State. 6 Lady Flames were named ASUN champions, while Callie Doan took home the MVP honors. We'll hear from her in just a bit, but first, to little surprise, the men's and women's ASUN Coach of the Year is Lance Bingham, and I had a chance to catch up with him after the victories.
All I can say is I'm just so thankful for the effort and energy, and we talk about competing with excellence. We talk about trying to honor the Lord with everything we do, and I saw that across the board. I mean, Coach tells me he's started a great thing, you know, and God used him in a great way to get this program established and going, and it's just an opportunity, and I'm so privileged to be able to continue that.
Such a great accomplishment for those programs. Not only do you get a trophy when you win the ASUN championship, but you get an invitation to come on the Flame Central podcast powered by Alcova Mortgage. What better representation of the Lady Flames track and field program than Callie Doan? As I mentioned, she was the women's MVP after running 4 total races. She finished runner-up in the mile, took the top spot in the 3K and the 5K. I'll do the math for you. That's 7 total miles of racing at a competitive level in just 2 days.
Does the adrenaline carry you more in those situations than you would think? Like,
Yeah.
Because you hear the sheer miles, you're like, man, how? Like racing that far, does the adrenaline kind of give you that extra juice?
Oh, definitely. And because it's for a team title, you're thinking about your team. If it was for yourself, I mean, you wouldn't be running that many events.
Yeah.
You would be focusing on one and going for time. But when you're thinking about your teammates, like I'm doing this for them, that's the focus. And then you have to take it like event by event. That's what my coaches kept telling me, like, we'll focus on this race, forget that you have anything else coming up. And then once you finish a race, you forget that it ever happened and you have to like move on.
If you're an avid listener or viewer, because we're on YouTube now, then you probably know all about Joe Yock talking trash that he can run a mile in under 6 minutes. Well, we asked Callie Doan all about it on the show, so go back and listen to that entire conversation. You won't regret it. If you're not an avid listener or viewer, well, you should be. The Flame Central podcast is powered by Alcova Mortgage, and it's the best thing since sliced bread.
I do love sliced bread. Well, the aforementioned Callie Doan is coached by Liberty legend Heather Zeeland, formerly Heather Sagan. She had a highly decorated career for the Flames, but it was a career that almost didn't happen. It wasn't until Heather gave her running over to the Lord that she would find success and joy in the sport she now coaches.
Liberty Hall of Famer Heather Zeeland is a decorated athlete who holds a long list of achievements from her time on the LU cross country and track teams. But unlike most collegiate superstars, running competitively was never part of her plan.
I happened upon the sport by chance. My mom had encouraged me to do track several times, and it just wasn't something that I was interested in. And a few friends of mine encouraged me to join the cross country team in high school my junior year. And so I just decided to try something new.
With a heart for missions, Heather wasn't quite ready to begin her college career. But after stepping on campus at Liberty University, she would begin to realize that God had other plans.
I had in my mind separated the world of athletics and ministry. And so when I came onto campus and I spoke with Coach Tolsma and I met one of the athletes on the team, I realized what a tight fusion of faith and athletics was part of the program. Like that was central to the program. And it intrigued me, it ignited me, and when I prayed about it, God said, "This is where I want you."
After a slow start to her running career, Heather, once again, would find herself at an unexpected crossroad.
My sophomore year was really rough because every race, instead of getting faster, in spite of training hard, I was getting slower and slower. And I had a crisis moment where I had to come to the Lord and say, I don't know if this is for me anymore. And I was ready to throw in the towel when it comes to my running in college. And I spent time praying and asking the Lord what he had for me. And he told me he just wanted me to surrender it and run only for him, not for my teammates, not for my coaches, not for my family, not for my own personal goals, but to run only for him. In that moment, I had to reestablish how to define success, really. It changed my perspective and how I trained, how I competed, and how I defined success.
With this new perspective from God, success would follow. Zeeland would go on to be named a 14-time Big South champion, a 2-time All-American, and Liberty University's first ever NCAA Division I title winner.
Senior from Liberty College, swinging wide down the home stretch, 40 meters to go. Sagan on the outside, Nielsen on the inside. Heather Sagan from Liberty shocks the field and wins in 4 minutes and 38 seconds.
After her Liberty racing days came to an end, God would surprise her with an unexpected opportunity.
Coaching was never something that I thought I would be doing with my life. When I graduated and Coach Tolsma offered me the job, it was something that wasn't even on my mind. But when I thought through and prayed through the opportunity, there wasn't a whole lot holding me back from making that decision. And so when the position was offered to me, I prayed about it and I knew in my heart that it was something God had been already putting in motion for me.
Today, Heather Zeeland serves as the assistant cross-country coach, developing champions for Christ. And out of all of the titles she's held through the years, her favorite one would be
Child of God. It's my favorite title. It's what makes all the other things what they are. When we really rest in who we are in Christ and we know how much he loves us, everything we do is just walking out what he has for us. And we go through victories and defeats, and all of it has purpose. All of it, we're with our Creator. And so that's, being a child of God is the best role.
Coming up, we hear from one former Liberty baseball player who's turning into a legit big league prospect.
Plus, Rhett McGibbon joins us to name his top players of the week in a brand new Warm, Hot, and Fuego. That's all when Flame Central returns.
We should go to the beach and just sit there and do LUA. No. My name is Chris Jordan.
My name is Jennifer.
One of the benefits of LUOA when we were investigating it versus perhaps a private school or something is the cost and accessibility. You know, is if you have access to the internet, you can get right on and do this at any time.
I think too that, like we were talking about, the teachers being able to contact you and say like, hey, you're behind, or if you do need some extra help with this, and they're very willing to help you do whatever you can to get back on track. Not that it ever happened with our kids, but most definitely happened.
You know, for our family, not only was the pandemic going on and the whole world shifting around, we moved in the middle of that, moved from one state to another state, but we didn't skip a beat when it came to the schooling. And so the flexibility of LUA was an exceptional option for us.
Does education mean a room with 4 walls, a desk, and a PowerPoint lecture?
Or is it something bigger?
What if it's the people beside you, 1 chair away or 1 ocean away?
What if it's the chance to learn from your mistakes, as well as your victories, and the push to keep going either way? What if it's the freedom to reach for bigger things without missing the little ones in between?
For each of us, education looks a bit different.
Because we're each a bit different.
But at Liberty, we think education might just mean something big enough for all of us. That's Liberty to us.
What will Liberty be to you?
A college degree is more than a diploma. It's taking control of your future and finding that next step. At Liberty University, we not only care about your career, we also care about your calling. And we want to help you learn, develop, and grow so you can make an impact as a champion for Christ. Over 450 online programs, 1U, infinite possibilities. So you're looking for a university that has anything you could possibly need.
Anything?
You want a place that has the programs you want to study.
I think I'm going to sign up for the fashion design program.
All right. A place with state-of-the-art facilities.
And who doesn't love big-time sports?
Somewhere you can hike, slide, climb, and most importantly, eat. And all that with a great view? Yeah, I think I know a place.
Hey, welcome back to Flame Central. Last week, we told you that Liberty Baseball was starting the season with 7 straight road games. Thankfully, they made it through that, and on Wednesday, finally made it home to the friendly confines of Worthington Field. The Flames hosting Longwood in their home opener, and Cam Troyer would prove to be the star of the show. A 3-run home run in the first inning put Liberty in front. He would add a 2 RBI single later in the game. His 5 RBI day helped LU outscore the Lancers 9-7. The win gets Liberty back to an even 4-4 on the year.
Let's stay on the diamond after being drafted by the Astros in the 18th round in 2021. Former Liberty standout Will Wagner has spent the last season playing between High A and Double A. But recently, he received some exciting news. An invitation to big league spring training with the Houston Astros. Wagner played for the Flames from 2018 to 2021, hitting .305 with 94 RBIs and 77 runs scored. The left-hander looks to continue that success at the highest level. He did admit he had some anxiety and adrenaline going. After he recorded 2 hits in his spring training debut, he feels like he's able to calm down a bit. As you know, Will's father, Billy Wagner, compiled 422 saves over a 16-year big league career. So, Will, what kind of advice did Dad share with you about the big news?
just to soak it in and enjoy it and have fun with it. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Things like that. I mean, he's been there and he's told me a lot about it, but just to have fun. I mean, it's crazy. It's an honor to be here with a team that just won the World Series, and there's so much to learn from around here, and I'm just blessed to be around here.
Hey, best of luck to Will. Hope to see him in the big leagues soon. Hey, Rhett McGibbon's here. You know what that means. Warm, hot, and fuego. Top player moment from the past week in Liberty Athletics. Rhett, what you got cooking this week?
Oh, lots of great action going on this week. Now, I do have a bit of a theme this week. It's animals that are compared to the athlete. I'm going to start with lacrosse. Lizzie Ferguson.
Yeah.
What a game she had. Okay, now, when you think, I'm going to get to animal here in a second. But first, when you think about draw controls in lacrosse, you got to think about like starting, pitching, quarterback.
Okay.
So important.
Yeah,
if you don't have a good person at draw controls, you're going to be in trouble. Now, Lizzie Ferguson running all over the place, looking like a gazelle. She's got that length.
There it is, the gazelle. Got
exactly.
it. Yeah.
Very elegant while she's out there. 5 goals versus VCU, but 11 draw controls. Wow. What that means is, like, after you score, you're getting the ball right back, and you're just back on top of them offensively. She is second nationally in draw controls per game.
About that?
She has been excellent, and I love seeing the way her career's come. Not getting a lot of playing time early, but it's just stuck with it, worked her way up, and is now one of the most important pieces on this team.
And we may have a little something on Lizzie Ferg next week, so just a little tease for you there. All right, from warm we go to hot.
All right, Bella Smuda, she's a crocodile, and this is why, okay? She's just lurking under the water. She's waiting for you. You're like, I don't know where she's at. Boom! Bang! Comes out with a massive block. She tweeted, "This is probably my most favorite block in my life."
Wow.
And it was a massive one. Now,
she's had a lot.
She knocked down Antoinette Walker. She's 12th in the nation in points per game. That girl, she just hammered, can score. And I like seeing Bella Smuda get a little bit angry. Yeah. After that one, she kind of had like the smoke coming out of the nostrils, that emoji. Like she was like, this is my house, don't mess with me. And Bella, she may not be the most momentum builder when it comes to scoring, but her defensive play, like she can change the feeling of a game. When Maya goes out, you're like, okay, maybe the offense will dip, but the defensive level is gonna rise a little bit, and man, she's just like swatting everything away. That game, she was a rim protector. Like she had 4 blocks, I believe, in that contest. Wow. It was huge.
Been a big part of that 14-game win streak for the ladies as well.
For sure.
All right, finally, Rhett and Fuego, the athlete and the animal.
Yes, Darius McGee, he is a Wolverine because pound for pound, I don't know if there's much better.
As it gets.
Yeah, exactly.
Wolverines are nasty.
They are nasty. That shot right there, this guy on Twitter, M. Warner TV.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I don't either. But he said, Darius casually drilled a 3 from here. Insane. And it was funny. I was looking at that play, and then I jumped on Twitter, and I saw Matt's tweet. I was like, exactly my thoughts as well. You knew it early in this game, he meant business.
He had the look.
He had the look, and then when you drain a shot from there, it's kind of like, just try me, people.
Yeah,
like, this is not going to go your way tonight. What a contest for him. 9 triples in the game. Loved it. Absolutely loved that killer mentality he came in with.
What a career he has had. Thanks, Rhett. Appreciate it as always. Still to come, one of Liberty basketball seniors shares his favorite moment in a Flames uniform. That and more when Flames Central returns.
Welcome to Liberty University's online programs, where living out your calling with integrity is what you train to do. And getting ready for the future doesn't mean missing out on the now. Because a university is more than buildings and books. And an education should set you free, not fence you in. Welcome to Liberty's global campus, where distance learning was pioneered and evolved into one of the top-ranked schools in the nation. Where protecting your budget, your time, and your education isn't just a theory, it's our priority. Here, degrees in your field reflect industry demands and help you get ahead of the competition. Where college comes to you, but you can come to college too. Game day, homecoming, graduation day. Your school, your values, your experience, your choice. Welcome to Liberty University, where we train champions for Christ.
Where you train is where you learn how to say, I know this. I've done this. I've got this. I'm ready. So you can surpass expectations when they say you're hired. At Liberty University, you'll train in world-class facilities as you prepare for a world-class career.
At Liberty University, we don't just believe everyone should have access to higher education, we make it happen. That's why we are offering our Middle America Scholarship to help families like yours by providing over $20,000 over the course of 4 years. Money should not hold you back from the life-changing experience at Liberty University. Find out if you qualify for the Middle America Scholarship today.
Does education mean a room with 4 walls, a desk, and a PowerPoint lecture?
Or is it something bigger?
What if it's the people beside you, 1 chair away or 1 ocean away?
What if it's the chance to learn from your mistakes, as well as your victories, and the push to keep going either way?
What if it's the freedom to reach for bigger things without missing the little ones in between?
For each of us, education looks a bit different.
Because we're each a bit different.
But at Liberty, we think education might just mean something big enough for all of us.
That's Liberty to us.
What will Liberty be to you?
Hey, welcome back to Flame Central. Throughout basketball season, we've shared some of the players' favorite moments in a Liberty uniform. The sad news, this will be the last one for Hoops. However, the good news, there is some good news. We might continue this segment with spring sports.
Well, I sure hope so. We end it, though, with Blake Preston. It was a pass from his longtime friend and teammate Darius McGee that even Blake didn't see coming.
Hi, my name is Blake Preston. I'm a center for Liberty University men's basketball team. My favorite moment during my time here is a lob pass from Darius McGee.
From the lob, the finish, one-handed throw down, Blake Preston, have a night.
It was a really cool play. So we're playing Florida Gulf Coast, big time game at home, and I set a ball screen for Darius on the right lane line. And as he goes downhill, he kind of throws the ball up in the air to me, and I'd kind of started to establish myself as a little bit of a lob threat, but not as quite the high flyer that Darius has played with before in the past. And he kind of threw that ball up there, and I was like, where on earth is this one going? And as I got a step or two closer, I was like, oh crap, that's for me. And I kind of went up and reached for it, see if I could just throw it off the rim, and I got it. It went in.
Top of the key, lobs it, Preston ducks it with extended right arm, way above the rim, and hammers it down.
I'm gonna be honest, I think I was on cloud 9. I remember seeing all the head taps and the guys going nuts, but I don't know, just a really fun moment between one of my closest friends now, and whenever you come in with someone and are able to have those type of moments like that, it's a really cool memory to kind of look back on.
McGee the lob, Blake Preston, the finish. Those guys have really shown a great connection tonight. They are really on the same wavelength.
I love those segments so much, and it makes it a little easier when there's such great calls.
That's right.
You know,
oh,
hey.
yeah, whatever.
Hey, have you downloaded the Flame Central podcast powered by Alcova Mortgage? Because you need to. Spring football is just around the corner. We're going to have great coverage on all of that.
Absolutely. And for any stories you might have missed, libertyflamecentral.com. Check out the website today. She's Emily. I'm Matt. Thank you so much for watching. Plan on seeing you right back here next week.